Hey there, Corporate Misfits, and welcome to episode 75 of the Corporate Misfit podcast. I'm your host, Brittany Darrington, founder of the Corporate Misfit Club and business strategist for female entrepreneurs who are looking to start, launch, and grow their business. Now tell me, have you ever had a client that really drives you crazy and you want to fire them, but you're not sure exactly how? Or you find it really tricky because you really want to preserve the relationship, but you know it's costing you time, money, energy in order to keep this client happy or in order to get this client to where they need to go with your products or your services. Well, today I want to talk all about how to know when it is time to fire your client. I have been in situations very similar to you where I had a client who asked us so much that we found that they were costing us way too much money in order to keep doing business with them. A lot of the work that they wanted us to do fell out of the scope of what we did in our business. And we kept informing them of this, but for some odd reason, things were not clicking. So if you are in a business where you are finding yourself wanting to fire some of your clients, I want to help you to know when it is time and also how to do it. Now, if you have not subscribed to the Corporate Misfit podcast, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would love to stay connected with you and also notify you of some of our upcoming episodes. And I also share with you how you can get business strategies and tips to help you grow your business or even start and launch your business if you're just getting started in the entrepreneurial world. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Now, let's dive in.
You're listening to the Corporate Misfit podcast with Brittany Darrington, where female entrepreneurs can get powerful tips and advice on how to start, launch, and grow their business.
Okay, Corporate Misfits. I wish there was a manual or someone would have told me when I went into the world of entrepreneurship that there might be clients that I need to fire. So when I first started my business, I took on anyone and everyone. I thought I need to generate revenue, so I'm going to work with all types of people. And I learned as I went through that process that some people are just not your clients. You're not trying to speak to everyone. You need to focus on speaking to your niche and focus on the people who are going to find value or excitement in the work or the services or the products that you are selling. Now, when I even narrowed it down to my niche ideal customers, and I got really clear on who it is I wanted to connect with. And I made sure that my marketing material attracted these types of people. And I focused on really repelling some of the people who are not a good fit. I still had one or two fall through the cracks. And I will tell you, sometimes you have to take action and fire the clients. I know we don't hear that often, firing your clients, but what if they badmouth you? Or what if they are going to pay you thousands and thousands of dollars? Why would you fire them? Well, if it's costing you your time, your energy, and your money, and you're finding yourself feeling miserable throughout the whole process, it's time to let these people go. And I want to help you to know when it's time to fire your client. And I didn't pay attention to this when I worked in the corporate world, but there are a lot of corporations that also fire their clients as well. And so I want you to know that even in your small business or in your new business, it's okay to fire these clients. And what I have found when I fire the clients who are sucking up my time, my energy, and also my money, that I find new clients who are the right fit, who don't suck up my time, who value my products and my services, and who don't mind paying for what it is that they are getting, and they respect that. So I want to help you so that you don't run into some of the same mistakes that I ran into by keeping some of my nightmare clients on board because I wanted to preserve the relationship, and you eliminate them and purge them so that you can get to where you want to go. Okay, the first thing to help you to know if you need to fire your client is that the client takes up more time than he or she is worth. So I always look at the proposals that I might send to clients, or I look at the scope of work that we presented to the clients that we are looking to work with or that we currently have. And I always ask myself, are they taking up more time than what they are actually worth, what they have paid for. And that's really important for you to identify this, because when you know if they're taking up way too much time, you can identify if I charged correctly, if I should have charged more, or if I maybe should have said no to working with this type of client because it's taking me away from some of my other clients, my other projects or services, or the things that I need to do in order to grow my business or just be able to run my business on a daily basis. So if you have a client who's calling you at all hours of the day, they're emailing you at all hours of the day, they're text messaging you at all hours of the day, and they only paid $250, is that worth it? The answer is most likely no. Because I know that you can't put a price on me having peace. You can't put a price on that. And so if I'm finding myself overwhelmed and I'm finding myself all over the place, it's important for me to reevaluate. Now, before you just up and fire your clients, I do recommend, if you're finding that they're taking up way too much time than he or she is worth, I recommend that you put boundaries in place. And how you could do that is by communicating to your customer. I only accept calls, emails, or text messages during these specific office hour times. Or I only talk to my clients about future products or things along those lines at certain times of the day. This helps to set clear boundaries and also expectations so that everyone is on the same page. So before you just go and up and fire your client because they're taking up more time than he or she is worth, make sure that you set those boundaries in place. And then if those boundaries are continued to be abused, then you can make an executive decision. The second way for you to know if it's time to fire your client is if the client is basically undermining all the recommendations and the work that you are recommending that they do or the resources that you provide. And basically, it's almost useless for you to say anything. If you're finding that everything you say, they always have a comeback to override everything you're recommending, then that might mean it's time to possibly fire your client. What usually happens is whenever you're working with someone, especially in a service-based business, and they're overriding everything that you say, it's going to be very challenging for you to be able to get them the results that they are looking for because they're doing it their way. Now, if they want to do it their way, there's really no reason for you to be there in the first place. So it's important for you to have that conversation if you're finding that your client overrides every recommendation, to take a step back and evaluate. Do I want to work with this type of client? Are they actually going to apply the advice or the services or the products that I'm giving them to help them get to where it is that they want to go and what they paid for? Or are they not going to see the results because everything I'm doing, they just override it. They look at it as, well, I'm going to try this way, even though you said try it another way. And that is going to make you frustrated. And it's also going to have you feeling like, what am I here for? You went into work to build a purpose-driven business, to make an impact, to do what you love, and to make the profits that you want. And when you're feeling icky because someone won't listen, or they won't take your advice, or they won't use your products or your services properly, it's going to get frustrating. So I want you to take some time to evaluate. Is this something I want to continue? And do they even need me if they're only going to listen to themselves and do their own recommendations versus listen to what I have to say? The third way for you to know if it is time to fire your clients is if they have a lack of respect. You know what I'm talking about. They say whatever they want. They don't care. They feel like, since I paid you, you have to do what I say. And truth is, you don't. You can give that money back. You can say no, and you can fire that client. And if you want to run an efficient and effective business, it's okay to say no, and it's okay to return someone their money if they are treating you with lack of respect. You don't want to be in relationships where there is a lack of respect. So don't think that just because you do what they say, that they're going to respect you. They'll still probably disrespect you, and they'll also think that since you are tolerating it, that you will continue to tolerate it, and they can continue to talk to you however they want with disrespect. And also, just a side note, I found that when people have lack of respect for people, it's most likely because they have lack of respect for themselves. So just keep that in mind. All right, the fourth way for you to know it's time to fire a client is when there's lack of communication. So say if you're working with someone and all of a sudden they go MIA. And you need to continue to get this business up and going. You need to continue to make headway and progress, but you can't because the client's missing. Or if you're communicating with the client and there's consistent misunderstandings and everyone's off and no one's on the same page and it's going nowhere. And it even falls back into it's taking up a lot of time and a lot of energy and money. And that lack of communication or the miscommunication can really cost you from being able to work with your ideal customers. So it might be time to fire the customer who can't comprehend or the client who has a lack of communication or they just fall off the face of the earth. Let them go and work with people who are really serious, work with people who are open to communication, and work with people who are ready to help better understand if there is a miscommunication. Are you an aspiring female entrepreneur? Then you will definitely want to join us and Start the Right Business Bootcamp. It's a 5-day business challenge to help women like you build a business with clarity and confidence. So in this 5-day business bootcamp, it's a free training where we are going to guide you on how to take action and strategically build a strong business foundation. When you join this challenge, you are going to know what to do to start your business and also how to do it. And the crazy part is we're giving this away for free. In this challenge, we're going to help you to stop procrastinating and start taking action. You'll learn proven strategies to build a strong business foundation with confidence, and you'll also create a flexible, self-sufficient lifestyle with income from your business. So if you are interested in joining us and Start the Right Business Bootcamp, go ahead and click the link in the show notes so that you can get signed up, come and get this training, and build that business that you have been dreaming of. I can't wait to see you there. Now, the 5th way for you to know if it's time to let some people go, because that just, sometimes it is what it is. You got to let these people go. The relationship isn't improving. So say if you took time to really help your client to better understand your boundaries. You communicated with them. You're telling them all these different things that they can do to grow their business or to help improve their lives or whatever your product or service solves. You are doing everything you can, but you're finding that this relationship is just not improving. It's actually making you sick to your stomach. You can't do this anymore. You're getting frustrated. Every time you think about this client, you get ill inside. You're like, oh, I can't think about this. It's probably time for you to let them go. Say bye and keep it moving. I promise you that if you release the energy that's holding you back from getting to your ideal customers, you will be able to see massive change. You'll see more people who are like-minded or people that you want to work with come your way, but you have to purge the people who are standing in the way of that. And if they're taking up all your energy and your time and your money and your resources, you don't have time, money, resources, or energy to go after your ideal customers. So you got to let these people go. The 6th thing you need to know when it's time to identify if it's time to fire a client, you can't stand to work with this person anymore. Like I said, it's making you sick. Every time you even think of that person, you just get sick inside. That is truly a sign that it is time to let this customer go. I know as business owners, we want to generate revenue. We want to be able to provide value and save every relationship. But would you do that in a bad relationship in your personal life? Would you stay in a relationship with a friend who talked to you any kind of way or who disrespected your time or who overrided everything that you said and they dismissed everything and they act as if your recommendations are crap? Would you stay in a relationship or have a friendship with someone who has lack of respect for you and talks to you like you're nothing? Would you stay in a relationship with someone who has a lack of communication and they do what they want, how they want, when they want, and you're okay with that? Hell no, you wouldn't. You would say, okay, you know what? I'm not staying in this friendship. I'm not staying in this relationship. I'm not going to do this anymore. And you would either make a shift or a change of getting help so that these things can improve, or you would let that go. So my question to you is this. Are you going to allow negative, toxic energy into your business that will suck up your time, that will suck up your money and your energy? Are you going to let that happen? Or are you going to say, hell no, this is not going to happen anymore. And if I feel like I am in a place to where it's time to fire a client, I'm going to go through the proper steps and channels to identify if it's time to fire them or if anything can improve or change and move on. We have to get out of this mindset, entrepreneurs, that we have to accept anyone and everyone who's willing to work with us in our products and our services. We don't. The whole reason we went into business is most likely because we wanted to be our own boss and make our decisions and say yes or no when we wanted to. So why are we allowing our clients to dictate how we feel within our business? We can control that. And one of the ways that we do that is by going through the proper channels and steps to see if it's time to fire your client. I remember when I was getting started in business and I had people come and buy my products, tell me how much they loved it, how much it changed their lives. And then I had one or two who would say, yeah, I didn't like it. I hated it. And what happened is that I curled up in this ball and I would break down and try to identify, why don't they like it? Why aren't they happy? Why aren't they seeing the results that other people saw? Why don't they feel this way? And then I had to have a reality check. Why am I crying over two people who were never my ideal customers probably to begin with? Why am I crying when I have hundreds and hundreds of people buying the product and they're satisfied and they're happy and they're excited about it and they're sharing it and they're giving referrals? Why am I worried about those people? So take that time to identify, is it worth your tears to even cry over or even waste energy over? And if the answer is no, then go through the proper steps and channels of, do you need to fire this client? I don't care how much money they're paying you. If it costs you your happiness and your peace and you're stressed out and you're overwhelmed and you can't even function in your business, you need to let them go. Because with the positive energy and the energy that allows you to actually create and have that flow of creativeness and that flow of, I can find a new client who is going to be ideal, that's going to be excited to work with me, that's going to see value in my products and services. You can do that, but you got to purge the energy that's holding you back. So I'm from Texas, and one of the things that we eat every single spring and summer is crawfish, also known as mud bugs. Now, these little mud bugs have to be purged because they are at the bottom of the ocean. They have a lot of sand and a lot of mud in them. That's why they're called mud bugs. And they have to be purged so that they don't taste like mud and dirt when you eat them. One of the ways that they purge the crawfish is that they put them in this really hot, steaming hot pot, and then they pour a ton of salt on them. And this purges them of all of the nasty stuff inside so that when they basically get rid of this stuff, they no longer taste like dirt or like the bottom of the ocean. And so it helps you to have this like amazing flavor and so much more. And you don't see all this like brown stuff coming out when you're twisting the tail and eating this crawfish because they purge them. Just like purging a crawfish, I want you to purge in your business. Who do you need to get rid of? Who do you need to put some salt on so that they can get out of your system and out of your business and get rid of those toxins and those things that don't make your business fun? I want you to do some purging. So take some time if you're feeling like, how can I know when it's time to fire my clients? You probably have that client who you're ready to fire or a few people that you're ready to fire. So take that time and identify if it's time and then take action. Don't hold back and don't stay in the world of misery. You built your business to make an impact and a difference, and you can't do it when you're stressed, overwhelmed, and feeling sick to your stomach every time you work with a customer. All right, corporate misfits. Well, I will see you in the next episode. Let me know how you are purging your clients that don't serve you well in your business. And also, let me know if you have ever had to fire a client and how you went about that process. And hit subscribe if you haven't already so that you can be notified of the Corporate Misfit podcast. Okay, I'll see you in the next episode.
If you've enjoyed today's episode of the Corporate Misfit podcast, we invite you to check out the Corporate Misfit Club. The Corporate Misfit Club is the essential resource for female entrepreneurs who are looking to start or grow a business they actually love. Whether you are a seasoned entrepreneur in your startup phase or simply thinking about taking the leap into entrepreneurship, we've got your back, girl. With our extensive course library, monthly training, exclusive members-only discount perks, and unlimited tools. We also have a supportive community of women where our members share stories, experiences, their wins, and business tips. The Corporate Misfit Club is the perfect place to be to start, launch, or grow a business. So check it out at corporatemisfitclub.com.